Hello, welcome back to Core Finance. I'm Matt Brown, joined by Eddie Tofpik, Head of FX at ADMISI. Going to look at two more currency pairs, dollar rand and the dollar Indian rupee. Starting off with the rand, obviously in a week where Zimbabwe, a lot of change, and maybe there's a little bit of contagion and read across into this pair. That's from a fundamental point of view, but technically, what's going on here?
Well, in addition to that, there's been a pull into EM markets, so they've benefited this past week. So they were seeing that in the rand, which, to be honest, has been the dollar's been overboard against it. But you've got one fundamental factor to bear in mind. Tomorrow is ratings agency day for the rand, where possibly two of them may actually downgrade it to a pretty poor, junkish status of the whole thing. Now, the question is, and there's a big question in the middle of the whole thing there, is this a bear trap? Now, we had a weekly key reversal down on that, which I've marked. You can't see it on the daily chart, but you can see it, you can obviously see it as a weekly one. It's tested down to the uptrend from September. So it's come down for fresh ammunition if it wants to go higher, and that's all it's done. It was overextended on the upside, and that was fairly obvious, but it's had a nice little move down. Whether the factors altogether, whether they actually push it through that trend, and actually then we see a further movement down to some key levels, which is 1344.90 area, which is the medium moving average, and then you've got 1328.60, which is long moving average, both lagging indicators, but both as supportive of the market. All of those are still pushing the market higher. The dollar higher, the rand weaker. I'd really, really like to see this tomorrow night. In fact, I wouldn't mind seeing it, because that's when we'll know by then what the market is and what the market will do with that the data from the ratings agency. At this particular point, I'm concerned this may be a trap. This move down, the strength in the rand is a pullback, fine, because it has gone up very, very. It was a beautiful Andrews pitchfork, as you remember on that one. Nice little move higher. It overextended. It's come back down. It has not negated the bull incentive for the dollar, but it's. Just be aware of it at the moment. There might be actually a big trap and might see the movement back up again.
Good stuff. And moving on now to the Indian rupee. We haven't covered this in a little while. Just talk us through the chart. What's going on? Island reversal. Explain what that is.
An island reversal, basically, it was effectively gapped. A market gapped on the upside, did some trading, and then gapped on the downside. Now it filled that gap to a certain degree, but it's on its own sitting there. That's typically a bearish sign that the market couldn't manage to get any higher. Definitely didn't get matched to the previous high. And I draw your attention to the early action, April through to mid-September. Sideways, a little bit weaker, going nowhere. Then all of a sudden we see this movement up in the dollar against the rupee, and we've seen an explosive move. It went over all the moving averages, and then it just halted and came straight back down again. But the down move was controlled. It didn't come straight back down. The first day it looked as if it was going to, but it was a controlled move down.
Over the course of
exactly.
More than a month.
And we came to roughly the median of the previous action, around about 64.40. Since then we've had one try on the upside, we had an island reversal, and the market has come back down. Now it's still looking very volatile relative to say June, July, and then prior to that, but it's further pressure is on the downside. All the moving averages are indicating sideways to a little bit lower, but the high is getting lower and not necessarily seeing any build-up of support for another attempt higher. It makes me think it might have one more try on the upside, but then it potentially could come down. The level to watch is 65.18, which is the recent 50% Fibonacci move. That's something to watch for and see whether it closes above that again, whether we have another island again. It may be doing that. It's a really interesting market at the moment. There's a lot of volatility in that. It's not clear, but it looks more bearish, descending triangle style, than anything else at the moment.
Fantastic. If you're looking for volatility, check out this currency pair. Eddie Tofpik, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.